Right, folks. Second game between Coop and MarsBar right here. And yeah, I've seen this game. I casted this yesterday. And OBS didn't catch the recording, so but in all the excitement of the FFA and stuff, I've kind of forgotten what happened. So here we are on 16-bit. Interesting map, big old map. You've got these expos out the back. The way into is through your men. So this is quite often called a pocket expansion because it's so well protected, so really easy to hold this. Obviously there isn't a ramp up into the expo out here. It is flat ground, but even so it's very easy to get up to 3 bases and hold, and Coop in fact going for the low ground wall off right here. MarsBar keeping it more traditional. Coop of course is playing random. MarsBar is going to expo at the back by the looks of things, and he does, and is the first to get that expo done. Coop is going to come in, have a little peek, does see all, hides the probe, but surely MarsBar has seen it, so we'll see if that comes into play or not. Maybe he's going to try and sneak in a pylon. In general, when you're playing Protoss, a Protoss worker, Scott, is always scarier than the others. An SCV comes in, it's probably not going to do anything. MarsBar did in fact know that it was there, and he sent the Zealot in to kill it. Now what is this I'm seeing though? Gas is mining, but where's the Cyb core? This is, in general, I don't mind the expo before Cyb core on this map. Would prefer it if you scouted, but like 3 minutes, Cyb core only now going down. What's the reason for that? You're mining gas, but what are you going to spend it on? You can't spend that until the Cyb core is finished. So I don't agree with the lit Cyb core at all. There is a forge building, and that's a very early forge, unless you're going to get cannon rush or something like that. So a pretty weird setup here. For MarsBar, to be honest. That is a really lit Cyb core. So Kupermeister is going to be well ahead in terms of tech. His warp kit is actually finishing up. However, he hasn't actually dropped Twilight or Robo or anything like that. Oh, he has. My bad. So there you go. His Robo already reasonably a reasonable amount of the way through. There's no warp gate research coming down from MarsBar, and there's also no sort of upgrades being researched, which is a little curious. So yeah, what has he spent his gas on? Oh, okay. Okay, I remember. Yeah, this is weird. This doesn't work. Okay. If you're playing as Protoss any risk, to be honest, Zerg is a little different, but certainly Protoss Terran. You cannot afford all the tech. You can't. You have to kind of choose a tech path. By all means, get all the tech late game, up to 5 bases, something like that. But when you're only on 2 bases, you're only mining gas with 5 workers right now. How are you possibly going to afford output from Twilight, Robo, and Stargate all at the same time? You can't. So in general, the Twilight comes down to enhance your gateway units with either blink, charge, or both, and to give you access to Templars. That's why you build the Twilight. All of those things cost gas. All of them do. Templars, very gas intensive. Stargate units, gas intensive. Robo units, gas intensive. The Robo support base coming down as well. So this doesn't make sense as a build. It doesn't kind of fit together. Yeah, you'd expect all of these things to appear in the later game. By all means, yeah, you upgrade your gateway units, yes, but you also go Robo, and then you go Robo Bay, and then at some later point, you drop the Templar archives. Having the Stargate, I don't mind it if all it's there for is to kind of throw down the to chuck out an oracle and get a bit of damage done, maybe 2 oracles, and then you forget it. But having it alongside those other tech things, It just makes it impossible. However, I am loving this. MarsBar's observer is just going to come in and see everything. This is a lot of gateways. So in addition to, he doesn't quite see the twilight, but in addition, if he moved right slightly, he would see the twilight upgrading. Here he goes. So, if you know that there's twilight upgrades happening, that's an upgrade for gateway units, and you see this many gateways, you know that something, a big gateway push is going to come your way. And MarsBar, what are you going to build against it? This is, look, you've got twilight as well. You can't afford output from, a Templar Archives. You cannot afford Templars, Colossus, and Stargate. You just can't. You've only got 2 bases. Now, this Void Ray, what on earth is it doing? It's shooting a building. Pretty ballsy to send the Void Ray straight into the center of your opponent's base. Had it come to the back here and sniped a few workers, and then look how much dead space there is here. It can just park here and be annoying, come in here, maybe kill a few workers. Love that, absolutely love that. Come over here, kill workers here, but don't park in the middle and don't shoot a building. That's not going to achieve anything. You're not going to get the building. Now, has Coop done any scouting of his own? I have a feeling he did. I have a feeling Coop sent in an observer and it got shot by this ridiculous cannon set up at the front door. I've got to be honest, I don't like this at all. I don't like it one bit. One cannon at the front door to catch out a stray DT coming in by all means. Cannon here to stop an oracle in your mineral line. Cannon here to stop an oracle, or indeed a warping round, a bunch of zealots from a prism, something like that. Yeah, by all means. But this, what's it going to achieve? I don't really get it. Anyway, this is quite a lot of zealot. Let's have a quick look at the upgrades tab. These zealots have got charge. There are no upgrades on the side of MarsBar, despite having the forge at about the 3-minute mark. So, this forge, well, what's it done for you? It's allowed you to build cannons, but each one of these cannons could have been a stalker parked at the front door, and then you could move them. Have a cannon for detection, sure, but nah, not this. So another robo coming down, and whoa, hang on, four robos off of 2 bases. I mean, MarsBar has got a lot of money in the bank, but he's only got enough gas to build 2 Colossus. So 4 robos, what are you going to build from them? I don't know. And the Templar Archives as well. Now, Coop sees all of this. Weirdly, it isn't helpful because all of the tech is here. If he was watching, maybe he saw the Colossus come out. Maybe he did. So both of the players with observers in their opponent's base actually have a pretty good idea of what's going on. There's Archons in the mix here, and army-wise, Kupermeister's army is bigger and it's just better quality. Now, this is not a great ramp to try and come up. There is a shield battery here. The cannons will help out. And he needs to be careful pushing into this. But if he can right-click up the ramp and not get clogged up on the ramp, if he can get in here, once the zealots surround these Colossus, they're going to smash them, because the Colossus, the air, it just doesn't have enough support from the ground. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying about you just can't afford all that mixture of tech. You just can't. Colossus are awesome units, but only if they're supported by enough gateway units. The upgrades tab, though, there's no range for these Colossus. So let's see how this fight goes. The zealots do indeed get up the ramp. It needs to blink these stalkers forward and let the zealots do their work. Colossus have full surrounds on them, and they're just not going to last long at all. Archons underneath the Void Rays doing a bit of damage. I don't know why Kupermeister's running. There's 3 Void Rays left. I don't really understand the backup there. You've got enough with the Archon and the Stalkers. You've got enough to snipe these. Surely this Colossus out on its own is going to die. It's as simple as that. There's 3 Immortals here. They, 2-shot a Colossus? Yes, that is a lovely balloon. And the Zealots are just going, oh no, that's disgusting. I mean, this is just a waste of money. 3? Laurel, please, sweetheart. I'm trying to cast again. Like losing a Colossus like that, unfortunate. Losing 3 is pretty much inexcusable. Is Blink done? It isn't. So Kupermeister actually needs to send some stalkers back into the men. But honestly, he could just go base trade. I don't really... Laurel, please, darling. Come on. I don't really know why he left in the first place. There was simply no need for it. He could have just A-clicked and ended the game there. He has got a lot of gateways at home, so he can warp in a whole raft of stalkers and deal with these two. And it is going to be GG very, very soon, I feel. So, what lessons have we learned? Yeah, don't mix your tech like this. Choose a tech path. If it's robo, that has to be supported by gateway units, so do get those gateway upgrades, do build a lot of gateways. There were only ever 2 here for MarsBar, and look how much mineral he's got in the bank. Had he 5-6 gateways, those Colossus would have been supported by a whole raft of zealots in front of them, and that would have made them 10 times as effective and not really cost you any gas whatsoever. So that's kind of an important thing to note. If you spread your tech too wide, tier 3 units are awesome, but not on their own. You need to kind of choose a tech path, go down that path, then by all means transition to another tech later in the game, or have a greater variety, better composition later in the game. But you piece that composition together bit by bit. You don't try and build a late game army in the early game. It just doesn't work like that. A late game army is going to have Colossus in it. It is going to have Immortals. It is going to have Templars. It maybe is going to have some Stargate stuff like Tempest as well. But if you try and build all of that in the early game, you've only got one of each of those things and your army's rubbish. So that isn't the way to do it. Anyway, GG.